feel really old now after that. I was telling Dr. Lewis, I said, you know, I started when I was 2. But thank you for that introduction. To our platform guests, our inductees, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm honored and humbled to be your speaker this evening. I thought of every possible way I could to get out of this. I even got a sinus infection and stayed home sick yesterday. But I felt much better this morning, so I'm here. I almost made it in getting out of this until a colleague said to me, you know, you have Dr. Martin Luther King's quote on your email, and I don't think you would honor his memory and his legacy well if you back out of this speech. And I think that colleague was right. You see, a part of my signature block on my email has this quote: "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands in times of challenges and controversy." I grew up in the 60s, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s words resonated with my generation. And these were the words that my colleague used to remind me that sometimes we have to move outside of our comfort zone and embrace the challenges that life presents. Believe me, giving this speech to you tonight, it is definitely outside of my comfort zone, and it's a challenge. But in preparation for tonight, I thought about how we as educators challenge you, our students, to think outside the box, to stretch, to grow beyond what you think is possible. We challenge you to dream, to dare to succeed. You're sitting here tonight waiting to be inducted into this prestigious organization is confirmation that you have accepted our challenge. So tonight, we pause to acknowledge greatness, your achievement, and your success. You should, all of you, should be very proud, as well as your family, should be very proud of your accomplishment. So we pause to congratulate you and salute you. As I commend you, I want you to know that if you thought what you've done was hard, in getting here, I want you to know that you should be in my shoes right now. Because I'm the only thing standing between you and the good part of this ceremony, you being inducted. Tonight, before I finish, I'll tell you something about me. But before I do, I want to address the current study topic, the democratization of power, of information, power, peril, and promise, and offer you a challenge as I share with you stories that were shared with me by a colleague. The first lesson is from a nurse entitled, "The Most Important Question." The nurse recounts, "During my second month of nursing school, our professor gave us a pop quiz. I was a conscientious student and had breezed through all of the questions until I read the last one. What is the name of the woman who cleans the school?" Surely that was some kind of joke. I had seen the cleaning woman several times. She's tall, she had dark hair, in her 50s. But how would I know her name? I handed in my paper, leaving the last question blank. Before class ended, one student asked the instructor, "Will this last question count on this quiz?" "Absolutely," said the professor. "In your careers, you will meet many people. All are significant. They all deserve your attention and care, even if all you do is smile and say hello." The nurse said she'd never forgotten that lesson, and also learned that the lady's name was Dorothy. There's power in knowing who you are, and in recognizing the contributions of others and the role they play in your lives, no matter how small or how large the part. There's power in your understanding You can't do things alone, and everyone is important in empowering you to achieve your dream. David Board, former governor of Oklahoma, asked, "What makes the difference between a nation that is truly great and one that is merely rich and powerful?" He answers, "It is the simple things that make the difference. Honesty, knowing right from wrong, openness, self-respect, and the courage of conviction. Each of you possess these simple things. Each of you is potentially an astronaut, a doctor, a president of a college with an honorary membership in Phi Theta Kappa, president of the United States. Each of you potentially is that person, as long as you accept the responsibility of the power you have." That great philosopher, Oprah Winfrey, challenges us in the current issue of O magazine to own your power, to find the bright light inside and watch the door of life open to all that's possible. It's the simple things Bolin spoke of that serve as the key which opens the door to these possibilities. Arthur Garner, a patriarchal figure in Glenn Beck's book, The Overton Window, tells a group of employees, "If you are not at the table, you're on the menu." There's peril in not realizing the power you have and doing something with it. You're being honored tonight because of choices you've made. You need to understand you have achieved something that many community college students will not achieve. Some of us serve, and some of us sacrifice. The story of the chicken and the pig, or eggs and bacon, demonstrates this best. The chicken and the pig look on as a family enjoy their morning breakfast, and the chicken comments about how the chicken's eggs allow the chicken to participate or involve itself in helping others. The pig chimes in and clarifies that the chicken participates, but it's a total commitment for the pig to provide the bacon. There's a difference between participating and total commitment. You have participated in your educational endeavors, and yes, some of you have made total commitments and sacrifice to get to where you are today. But the commitment must not stop with your personal achievements. As educated citizens, you are challenged to sacrifice and to serve others for the greater good of our community, for our city, our state, and yes, our nation. Serving others is what we as educators do best. That's my job, to serve. Not only you, our students, but my family, my friends, my community. That's why I'm here today. Remember, this is a challenge for me. But as an educator, I must accept the challenges that come my way if I expect you, our students, to accept the challenges that are presented to you. Power and peril. So much of it is about attitude and the choices we make. A story was told many years ago of a nurse while working as a volunteer at Stanford Hospital. She got to know a little girl named Liz who was suffering from a rare and serious disease. Her only chance of recovery appeared to be a blood transfusion from her 5-year-old brother, who had survived the same disorder and had developed the antibodies needed to combat this illness. The doctor explained the situation to the little boy and asked the boy if he would be willing to give his blood to his sister. I saw him hesitate for only a moment before taking a deep breath and saying, "Yes, I'll do it if it will save Liz." As the transfusion progressed, he lay in bed next to his sister and smiled. As the color returned to her cheeks, his face grew pale and dim. His smile faded. He looked up at the doctor and asked with a trembling voice, "Will I start to die right away?" Being young, the boy had misunderstood the doctor. He thought he was going to have to give all of his blood to his sister. Attitude, after all, is everything. Wow. Once you accept the power, realize the peril involved if you do not live up to your expectation. Understand a lot of it is all about attitude and promise. The promise that you make to others and to yourself. Once you make the right decision, people will notice. I made a choice years ago to move to Texas. That's why I'm here today. An African-American woman from Memphis, Tennessee, PhD, living my passion, changing lives, I hope, one student at a time. I grew up in the South. I was 4 years old when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. I was in Memphis, in the midst of the marches, the riots. I vaguely remember what you would expect a 4-year-old to remember. Uh-oh, you guys are smart. I just realized I told you how old I am. That's okay, I look good for 30-something. Still, to say a lot has happened since then is an understatement. Things are significantly different now than it was then. I'm here because people believed in me. I'm here because people believe in me now. And I'm here because I believe in me. Why are you here? Take a moment and think about that. You know what I think? I think you're here because people like your parents, your friends, your teachers believed in you. You're here because people still believe in you. And mostly you're here because you believe in you. Like Susan Bull, your dream didn't die. Dr. King's dream didn't die in 1968. Each of us carries a small part of that dream with us every day. We have the power to keep our dreams alive. You have the power. If you don't use your power, peril is involved. Things won't happen if you don't use your power. Change won't happen if you don't use your power. That's a promise. You feel me? Okay. You can make a change. You can make a difference. Don't be recognized as someone who pulls weeds. Rather, be known for someone who finds flowers in the field and displays them as a beautiful bouquet of possibilities. Congratulations, good luck, and thank you for believing in me and inviting me to share this special time with you.